coming on, because obviously we're all coaches. And so anything that we can learn to build our skill set around coaching ourselves, because first, guys, we are our number one client. We are our first client when it comes to transformation. And then being able to take on those skills and help other people transform in their lives is incredibly important. So with that being said, Ashley, she's from Jersey, from the Jersey Shore. So, so welcome, Ashley.
Thank you. Love you. Thank you so much. I'm so excited. Wow, this is a big crew. I didn't even know what to expect. I'm super stoked. Hi, everyone. It's so nice to see your faces. Happy Sunday. I'm really excited to kind of get into what we're going to talk about tonight. Like Steph said, I love to coach coaches on how to coach. And if you are an entrepreneur, which you are, if you are leading people, which you are, you're a coach, and you're a coach, right? That's like part of what you guys are, Beachbody coaches. And so I want to help you really tap into like the technique of coaching to be able to move yourself forward and move your team forward and every single person that you come in contact with, because there is a lot of mindset that comes up for people when they want to transform their body, when they want to transform their finances, when they have an opportunity in front of them. You know, most people think like, oh my gosh, who am I to, change my life with this business, with this product? Like there's a lot of limiting beliefs that come up. So tonight I want to train you on how to combat those for people and how to do that for yourself as well. So we're just going to dive in. I'm going to share my screen. And I really want to make this a collaborative experience. So if you guys have comments or you have anything to share or like thoughts, breakthroughs, aha moments, please put them in the chat. It gives me like life when I see comments and stuff. So just share as much as you can. I would appreciate it so much. All right. So hi, my name's Ashley Gordon, and I am the founder of Quantum Coaching Certification Academy, and it's really my mission and goal to create max impact and transformation for your clients and to have them reach their unlimited potential, and for you to be highly compensated as your purpose as a world-class coach. And for this, I'm going to be referring a lot to coaches, but I want you to get in that mindset that you are a coach, right? You're not pushing anyone to do anything. You're coaching people to make decisions for themselves. And so really putting that hat on tonight as we go through this content, and just trying to see things a little bit differently. So hi, I'm Ashley Gordon. I started my journey in the online space as a spiritual life coach. I turned manifestation biz coach. And then I turned into the coach's coach, teaching coaches, that's a lot of coaches, how to create max impact for their clients. And I live for the ripple effect. And I found this deepening of my purpose, creating the quantum coaching method. And so I've jumped around a lot. And maybe you're like me where you've tried this, you've tried that. Now you're in this business and you're like, this feels right. And I'm going to take this business all the way. And that's kind of what happened for me too. And so it's totally normal if that's your journey. That's part of it. That's all good. That's why you're doing what you're doing. So you're in the right place if you're a new coach, aspiring coach, a leader who wants to set yourself up for success by avoiding the common coaching pitfalls that we fall into. And I'm going to go into what they are tonight too. I'm here. Wait, there we go. And you're in the right place if you have a coaching business and you're not getting the clients that you want or helping them transform in the ways that they want. And I am here because I see so many coaches confused about what coaching is. They're not getting the clients or the results that they know that are possible, to say possible. They aren't seeing the success that they envision for themselves and their purpose. And it's my mission to help coaches be world-class leaders. So I want to help you elevate to world-class by the time you get off of this training. Yes, I'm serious. So what coaching is not? Coaching is not education, teaching, advice giving, or friendship. So what is coaching actually, right? What is it? We're going to go into like a little definition of this, and I'm curious to know what stands out the most to you. But what is coaching? Coaching is to help your client discover themselves and to help them see and access their unlimited potential. Coaching is leading with your energy. Coaching is solution focused and future oriented, and a coach's only agenda is to help the client get what they want. Coaches are objective and non-judgmental. The coach accepts that the client is the expert and that they have all the answers within themselves for any challenge that they face. It's a big one. A coach doesn't see anything as a problem, only as an opportunity. A coach partners with the client to help implement a plan they both develop. A coach holds the client accountable to bring that plan to life. And a coach is a trusted advisor that creates a safe environment for their client to explore and work through any challenges, issues, and concerns. So just reading those, does anything pop out to you that's kind of like, oh, okay, cool. I didn't know that. I didn't think of that. Just share in the chat. I would love to hear what your observation is of that. Yeah, partner with a client. Definitely a big one. So what is not coaching? It's not consulting. It's not mentorship. It's not therapy, and it's not friendship, right? Of course, you can be friendly with your clients, but it's more so helping people really discover within themselves. So consulting is more of like, here's a problem. A consultant comes in and is like, I'm going to fix this problem. I'm going to be the solution for this problem. I'm going to implement this, and then peace out. I'm gone. Mentorship is like, this is how I do it, and this is how you can do it too. And I think that there's a lot of value in mentorship in network marketing. And I think that if you added in more coaching with your mentoring, that could be like really quantum for your people. And then therapy is obviously more so I describe as more problem focused, and coaching is more solution focused. So a therapist can take someone that's dysfunctional to functional, and a coach takes someone that's functional to the next level. And that's really like the realm you're working in, is helping people go to the next level in their life and in their health and their wellness and everything, mindset. And then friendship, obviously your friends have their own opinions of like your life, and I'm sure they're not afraid to tell you what their advice is, right? Ashley said, I love having this breakdown. It makes it more black and white. I see more of myself in the mentorship and need more of coaching part. Awesome. That's amazing. Great. Thank you for sharing that. So I'm going to get into, we're just going to jump right in. I'm going to get into the quantum coaching methodology so you can start to see, and we can start to break down how you can bring in more coaching into your business right now and into your team. This is big. This is good stuff. So the 3 source principles of the quantum coaching method are release, rewire, receive. So basically, I tell the students in QCA, when you're in a coaching relationship, you want to start to be able to identify that at every level, no matter where you're at in a coaching relationship, there's always going to be a release part, right? What needs to be released. There's always going to be a rewire part, what needs to be transformed. And then receive is like, what do they want to manifest? What do they want to bring into their life? What are their goals? What's their vision? What are they moving towards? So for you on your team, you can assess people that are in this stage of needing to release something, right? Like, okay, there's limiting beliefs there. We can coach those. That needs to be rewired. And then, if they do the release and they do the rewire, they're going to receive something brand new in their life. They're going to receive more clients. They're going to attract more people that are interested in the business. There's going to be a lot of opportunity that opens up when they work on their mindset and then rewire those old programs. So that's like the first little part of it. And I just want to put this out there. Yes, the coaching industry is not regulated, and no, you don't need a coaching certification. What do you need? You need powerful, life-changing tools to take your clients from where they want to go and provide more value, or from where they are to where they want to go, and provide more value and transformation than anyone else, right? Agreed? And I can almost guarantee that the top leaders in your company that you look up to, they know how to coach people. They know how to take people out of their shit and take them into empowerment. And there's a craft to that. There's a strategy behind that. Yeah, some people are naturally good at it, but that's something that you can study and become really, really masterful at. So we're going to get into a little bit of that tonight. But I wanted to point this out to you because I think that this is like such a great observation. Kim Friedmutter, I interviewed her on my podcast. She's wonderful. Great episode. She wrote a book called Subconscious Power. She has a book with a publisher. She charges $30,000 to $50,000 for her breakthrough sessions with clients, okay? She is not an Instagram celebrity, right? How does she charge that much money? And I think this whole like social media thing comes into play where they're like, people say, I don't have any followers, I don't have people that are interested in social media this, social media that. I want to bring this to your attention because here's the thing. She can charge that much money because she is world renowned. She is a world-class expert at what she does. And when you're that good at what you do, it doesn't matter how many Instagram followers you have. And it doesn't matter like that she, it doesn't matter if her social media following isn't huge. You can charge that much because you're a world-class expert. So when you're really good at your craft, you can charge more. You're going to have more people come to you. You're going to find more people. And it's not because of your social media following. So if that's been a mindset block for you, that's been in your way, let that go. Okay. Here's what I've heard and seen in the industry. People are coaching from what they've learned in their own personal development, right? Which is great. And there's more, right? There's more to coach people on besides what you've already learned. It's good to share that on social media, but it's not great in a coaching session. And then people are, they're not attracting clients that they say that they want because they don't know how to fill the hour or the space with them. So let's just say that, obviously this is a little bit different for you because you might not be one-on-one coaching with people, but let's just say you want to incorporate that in your business. Or let's just say that you see yourself having team meetings like Stephanie's having, and some of you might, and you feel like you don't know how to fill the hour with your people or try to, make it as transformational as possible. And then other people in the industry have a fear of it being awkward, that they're not providing the value that people pay for. And then people are also coaching based on their own experience and teaching through courses instead of coaching, like teaching material kind of like I'm doing right now, right? And then there's nothing wrong with any of this, right? Coaching based on your own experience is great. But when you are helping someone make a decision, whether it's to join the business or to buy and invest in products for themselves, yes, you want to share your experience, but when someone's sharing something vulnerable with you, you don't want to take that away from them just by sharing about your life right away, right? So there's a craft to really getting people to make decisions that has nothing to do with any of these, which is really exciting, right? Because it's not really it's not necessarily your life experience that's going to make a difference. It's who you're being, right? It's who you're being and without words. I hope that makes sense. Coaching isn't about what you know. It's about how you listen, attune, and engage. It's not about learning content so that you can teach it. It's about learning skills that you can use to create transformation with clients, with team members, with other leaders. So how valuable would it be for you to learn some tools in this training to become an even more badass coach and create quantum shifts for your clients? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to teach you guys the method, okay? It's a bullseye. And in the center of the bullseye is energy, right? It's you. It's your energy. It's the energy in which you move through life. It's the energy in which you show up to your clients, your calls, your team. It's the energy in which you share your products. It's the energy in which you embody what you're about. And so your energy is the magnet. It's the magnet. And from energy, it branches out. And there's entrainment, engagement, equanimity, and encompass. And I'm going to go through each one of these to explain what they are and how you can incorporate these right now into everything that you're creating. Okay. So, energy. You have to be the master of your energy so you can help others be the master of theirs. And for any coaching relationship, any business, anything in life, if you are not happy with your results, that is the time to look at yourself and say, where is my energy right now? I just had a client say to me that she had a very low July. She had a very low month for July. She was having really high months, and July really tanked for her. And her words, right? It tanked, like that's her filter. But when she shared that, I asked her how her energy was in July, and she said her energy was just out of the game. She wasn't in it. She wasn't feeling it. And she kind of just let it fizzle. And so your energy is so important with everything that you do, and filling up your cup is so important. But also, energy is going into the next level of the bullseye, which is entrainment. So entrainment is all about creating synergy and alignment to co-create the coaching relationship. So if you have a new person that's interested, or you are just forming a new business relationship with someone and you're mentoring them and you're coaching them, it's really important that your energy is high, because when you show up for them, they're going to level up in their energy just by you being at a higher frequency. So frequency entrains with frequency. So entrainment is the highest energy always wins. So notice when you're in a space of complaining, right? And your people are complaining around you, it's very, very easy to get sucked into that energy, because that's the highest energy of that moment. And then when you're around other people, like maybe when you're on retreats for business or this or that, and you're just like so happy, so high vibe, like when I'm away with Stephanie, we are just like, all of our energy trains together, and we're just like super, super high frequency. And we entrain to that level. And then we get into rapport with each other at that level. We have a trust and intimacy at that level. The same thing happens with clients. So when you are mastering your energy, you are also entraining the energy of the people around you. And that is without words, right? So let's just say that you get on a call with someone to do a training for them, or you get on a call with a potential, new business partner. You want to make sure that you are grounded in that call. You want to make sure that your energy is rooted and high vibe. And if someone comes on the call and they're all over the place, you could be like, hi, how are you? And just stay in that really good space. And so even take inventory of yourself right now, depending on how you were feeling before you hopped on this call. If you were feeling scattered or anxious or this or that, maybe you're feeling different right now just because you're in training to a higher frequency by just listening to this training, right? So it's real. It's really, really real. It's really potent. And so just pay attention. The more rooted you are, the more rooted that person's going to be. And the same for like when you're interviewing a new partner, a business partner, a potential business partner, your level of confidence, right? Your strength in that call, in that moment, is going to resonate with them. Your insecurity in that moment is going to resonate with them. So it's like, where is your energy at? And what do you want them to entrain to? So that's entrainment. When you are in sync with somebody, you know it. You know how you'll be with friends, or you'll be out and you'll just like take a drink with someone at the same exact time, or you'll say the same thing at the same time, or you go like this and someone goes like that at the same time. That's how you know that you're in rapport with someone. The same thing can happen when you're with clients, or when you're when you're on the phone with someone, or a new partner, anyone on a team call. Really getting into that like mirroring phase is how you know that you're like really connected to that person. And it's always, always an energy thing. It's not even about what you say. It's about who you're being in that moment. Oh, thanks, Monica. Yay. Okay, cool. So the next thing is engagement. This is big. So these all build on each other. Energy, entrainment, engagement. Engagement's all about listening. Okay. You want to be a powerful coach. You want to be a powerful human. Listen more. Listen more. This is so big for every area of life, really, but especially in coaching and business, like listening from being objective, right? Like putting your filters of life away, taking out your assumptions, your limiting beliefs. I think for me, I used to have a network marketing business a long time ago. And for me, I was like not passionate about my product. And it really got in the way for me because I was always listening to people with this fear that was like in the background of like, I wasn't being authentic, honestly. So for me, listening while being objective, like putting my biases aside or my money beliefs aside, and my, I coached a lot of doTERRA women as well, the doTERRA oil business. And a lot of them had this belief about the oils and how they were so expensive, even though they love the oils. Like these are real beliefs that come up in business. And they would listen to people through the filter of these oils are too expensive. So when you're with people, potential clients, potential business builders, whatever, you really want to put all your limiting beliefs aside and let people make their own decisions. So pure listening, objective listening, try this with your mom, try this with your dad, try this with all the people in your life, your kids, like really just objective is listening for word, not for your interpretation of it. And engaged listening is really about being able to mirror back to someone exactly what they're saying, but in a little bit of a different word, right? So a little bit of a reframe. So people know that you're listening. And then powerfully holding space for discovery is really just hearing what people are saying, letting people talk. Sometimes people need to get things out and they don't necessarily want your advice, or they don't necessarily want you to give them feedback, or they don't necessarily want anything other than to just get it off their chest. There might not be a problem for you to fix. So when you are with anyone, especially business, I did this with my mom. It's changed my life with my mom. Like it's changed everything because she doesn't want me to fix her problems. She just wants to complain. So I'm just going to listen. It's changed everything. It's unbelievable. And people listening feels very validating for people. So if you can listen and you can engage and you can just mirror back what people are saying, it's such a powerful coaching tool. It's also a very powerful way to make people feel seen and heard. And if a team member of yours has a challenge and they come to you and they're complaining about somebody else on their team, or they're complaining that they're just not where they want to be, or something's not happening, or I don't know, like there's a lot of different complaints. Feel free to put them in the chat so I can like give a real example. But let's just say it's about someone not performing the way that you can, like the potential that you see that they have. And you're complaining about them, right? Where was I going with this? Oh, or they're complaining to you. I don't know. Someone's complaining to somebody and they're just talking and talking and talking. Just listen. There's nothing to fix. Just listen to what they have to say and then just say, how are you feeling now? Most people just need to get it off their chest. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. Equanimity. Equanimity is all about meeting yourself where you are. But in this context, it's about meeting your clients where they are and meeting other people where they are. So if you are in a session with someone, or you have a new potential business builder or client, I want you to really practice this. This tool can change everything for you. Ask powerful questions. Powerful questions don't end in yes or no answers. Okay. So when you're in a session with someone or a meeting with someone, asking them big open-ended questions is one of the biggest, most beautiful ways for people to discover what they really want. And if you can become really good at helping people figure out what they want and what direction they want to move in, you don't have to convince anyone of anything. They're going to have their own answer. So cultivating inquiry is so important because it really lets people see, like, I do want this. I really, really want this business. Like, you could ask them, how valuable would it be for you if in 6 months your life could completely change? How valuable would it be for you if, or let's scratch that. If you don't do anything to change your life, where are you going to be a year from now? And that gets them thinking, like, okay, if I don't make this change right now, I'm going to be in the same place or worse. What do you think actually makes people change? Put in the comments. What do you think actually makes people change, to make a decision? Let's see what you guys say. What makes people change? Nothing? Come on. Yes. Thank you, Justine. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Ashley. Yes, Steph. Pain. Honestly, when people are sick and tired of being sick and tired. But here's the thing. It's not as powerful if you're to tell them that. They have to figure that out for themselves. And the only way for people to figure that out for themselves is to be asked really powerful questions. So if you can up-level your question game, stop giving advice, okay? Stop giving advice. Advice doesn't work. It does not work. So if you can change what you want to say, like if you have advice for someone, I want you to think, how can I phrase this as a question? How can I phrase this as an open-ended question? And when you can ask that as a powerful question instead of telling someone what to do, they're going to think of their own answers, and their answers are going to be better than the thing that you're telling them that they are or are not. So if you say to someone, here's the thing, you're tired of being in the same place that you were a year ago. Like, you are sick of these patterns. It's time for you to do something about them. Like, let's do this. Let's change. That's great. It sounds motivating for a minute. But instead of that, asking them, like, what would be the worst case scenario for you if you did not change like your current situation right now? How do you know that right now is the right time to make these insane changes in your life, or whatever you want to say, right? Like, really just asking them, for them to go within themselves and say, this is it. This is the time. I'm ready. I am ready. And that's what you want. You want people that are ready. You don't want people that you have to convince. You want people that are freaking ready to go and want this business and passion and lifestyle just as much as you do. Because everybody else that is just like floating and existing and not really making shit happen, that's not who you want on your team. I always tell people, you don't just want anybody on your team. You want the right people on your team that are aligned with you and your goals and your mission. And the only way to know who they are is to coach them to realize that for themselves, that they're also the right person for your team. So the next part of the method is Encompass. And this is all about accountability, feedback, championing, and celebrating. And I think that you guys probably do a lot of great championing and celebrating each other. So when you are in a coaching relationship, when you're in a team setting, when you're in a team relationship, accountability and feedback is everything, right? Incorporating more feedback on your team will hold people accountable. So what do I mean by feedback? It's like actually giving them feedback of how they showed up month by month, or how they're showing up this week. Or in my mastermind and programs, I give them social media feedback. There's a social media spotlight where the whole group tells them, this is what you should keep doing this, stop doing that, and start doing this. Keep, stop, start. And then I give them like an overall like big coach energy, like what was their moment of big coach energy that I saw on their social media platform. This is to help people on your team understand how they're coming off in the world, right? Like, we don't necessarily know how we are or appear to other people, right? We only know how we appear to ourselves. So how valuable would it be to get feedback and give feedback and let people know, like, this was amazing. When you did that, that really landed with me. So, and maybe stop doubting yourself when you mention this, and maybe start showing up more consistently, like during the day, like you did that other day, because that really resonated. And just giving people really quick, really like potent feedback. And when people know that they're on a spotlight, that you're watching their social media and you're going to let them know how they're showing up, that holds them accountable to actually show up. So I highly recommend this. I think that it would be a great way to bring people together, to motivate people to up level their social media game, and also the way that they're showing up and sharing what they're passionate about and what their business is. And then also like championing and celebrating each other. I think that you guys do that a lot. And so I probably don't have to go into that, but championing and celebrating anyone in your life, your clients, your team, is really important. You want to let people know that they're doing a great job, because what do our basic human needs? Like, we just want to be seen and heard. We want to be appreciated. We want to make sure that we're doing a good job, and letting people know that is really, really important, especially in business. So this is the, basic framework of the method. And I wanted to share a couple more things with you along with this. So why most coaches aren't hitting the bullseye in coaching, getting quantum results for their clients, is 3 common mistakes that you might be making. These mistakes alone can change the game for you. So number 1, you might be assuming. You might be an assumer. So you're not actually listening to people. You're just assuming that you know what's best for them. You're assuming you know the answer for them. This is like big for families too. And then number 2, filler. You might be filling the space. You might feel uncomfortable in silence, and uncomfortable when you do ask a powerful question, like letting it land, letting that person really come up with their own answers instead of giving them the answer. And then number 3 is fixer. You might just be an advice giver. You might want to fix someone's problems. You might hear their problem and then make it your own story, or jump into the box of their story. And yeah, fixer is a big one. And I think it probably comes up a lot in what you guys do every day, and managing a team, and wanting the best for everybody, and wanting to be a support for everybody. But here's the thing. If you're doing any of these things, you're working way too hard as a coach and leader. Okay? If you are stuck in the assumer role, you're working way too hard. It's exhausting. It's exhausting trying to assume that you know the answer for everybody. If you're in the filler role, it's exhausting to talk that much. Let the other person do the talking. The more listening you do, the more powerful questions you'll know how to ask and what to ask, because you're listening. And then for fixer, you're working too hard. You don't have to fix anyone's problems. What if there was nothing to fix? Right? Like, what if whatever the challenges were that people were dealing with, that you come in contact with, whether it's in business or in life, everybody's on their perfect path. Everybody's on their own unique perfect path, doing exactly what they should be doing, exactly where they should be, to get exactly what they need to get in order for their soul to evolve. Like, I truly believe that. So in the fixer seat, try to give less advice and start to listen more and ask more questions. How's that sound? You guys think you could take that on? Oh, so the assumer already believes that they know the answer. They're steering questions versus guiding. They're filtering through their own personal experience. Who's guilty of that? And then filler doesn't leave space for client discovery or know how to hold space. They're ungrounded and they don't stop talking. Doesn't allow powerful questions to land. Important. And then the assumer, or the fixer, jumps to accountability and skips other steps. Feedback and advice giving without full clarity, gets caught up in client's problem and story. I want to add one more to this, and I want to add avoider. Okay? A lot of times in coaching, when really strong emotion comes up, coaches will tend to avoid the emotion. So they'll kind of just like glaze over it. Like, oh, that emotion, that didn't really just happen. But in coaching, you want to be able to be comfortable with other people's emotion. And as an entrepreneur, as a leader of any company, of any business, of anything, you want to feel comfortable holding space for emotions and not just glazing over it. So you might be an avoider as well. Maybe that feels true for you. Robert said, I've been guilty of all of this at some point, Robert and Mackenzie. Yeah, totally. And that's completely normal. and understandable. And I think that as you grow as leaders and entrepreneurs and coaches, these things will start to happen less and less and less. After this training, especially, you're going to be very aware of it. And it's going to be helpful to you because you are going to know, like, oh, I'm doing that. I'm assuming right now. Let me stop. Let me just listen. Let me listen more. Let me ask questions. Let me let the questions land, right? Justine said, I'm guilty of all of these because I'm scared of the outcome. Okay. What do you mean by that? What's the outcome? So this is how you hit the bullseye in your coaching and in your leadership, is to listen, ask powerful questions, master your energy, hold space, give feedback, all of that. Are you ready to hit the bullseye? And I kind of want to just open the space up to you guys and have a little Q&A if we have time for it. I have time for it. And see what your biggest takeaways were. She said, getting not finding people within the avatar. Justine, do you want to unmute yourself?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. Can you just tell me a little bit about that?
So I have a fear of failure, and in terms with that, it's if I put myself out there, there's a greater chance of failing, not finding people that I can bring into the business, not finding ways to connect with people. And in doing so, I just kind of don't do things or haven't done things, and learning to come to grasp with failure is a way to succeed and to be comfortable with that. And that's always been my biggest thing. I've done it since I was a kid.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I just want to ask the group, who here has a similar fear? Raise your hand. Yeah. You are not alone. We're all here with you. I think that you're on the brink of something really big just because you just even shared that. That's pretty big. And it's really like what we were talking about before, about getting so tired of that fear that you're just over it. So I'm just curious, like, how will you know when you're at the point where you're just over it?
If you don't mind, I'm actually at that point.
I can feel that. I can feel that.
In the recent week or so, I've really leaned into my team and learning and grasping like the different ideas and processes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't typically write down my goals just because they terrify me, in the fact of what if I fail and it never happens? What if I let people down? And yesterday or the day before, I actually took the initiative and I wrote everything down, big, small, this month, 5 years from now. And I wrote it all out, put it in the universe. I started journaling more to really put it out there because I was so tired of not moving forward.
That's amazing. Woo! Yeah, I can so feel that from you, that you're just like, you're about to step off the cliff. And I just want to model something that everything that you just shared for everyone, is that sometimes there's going to be that fear in people that you meet that want to join the business, and they're going to be so afraid of failure. And for Justine, she modeled so beautifully, like, she knows what she's getting out of that fear. We're always gaining something from fear or from limiting beliefs. Okay. Even though if I said to you, how is that serving you? You would be like, oh, it's not. But it is serving you, isn't it? How is it serving you? What is it doing?
For me, it's serving me in the learning process, because I'm learning that if this specific way isn't working for me, I need to make an adjustment. I need to learn to grow and expand my mindset specifically so that I'm able to move forward and open up and share that with not just my family, but with my team and with people on Instagram, because I don't do that. I am very fearful of that, and learning that it's okay. And if they judge me, they judge me, but it's not the end of the world. And I can push forward and just accept what it is.
Mic drop. That's amazing. Yeah. So she got something really good there where she said she's learning, right? And if I were to ask you how this fear of failure is protecting you, what would you answer that with?
I feel like it's protecting me from getting hurt, from
Perfect.
knowing
That's
I'm
it.
not worthy.
That is it. So that really strong belief that she has and fear that she has is protecting her from getting hurt. Okay? If you can find out what the beliefs are protecting people from that are on your team or interested in this business, you'll be able to use that to help them move through that. Because now you know, okay, I have this belief not because I'm actually afraid of failure, but because I just don't want to get hurt. Right? But isn't it more hurtful where you are right now, or even just like a couple weeks ago, than actually showing up the way that you know that you can and want to?
Yeah, when I was doing my journaling, I actually realized that all of these limiting beliefs and fears and things that I'm just holding on to are doing nothing but hurting myself. They're not hurting anyone else. I'm building the walls. I'm making them higher. And until I break through those, it's never going to change. So hurting myself does what? There's no good out of that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so my business mind right now, my marketing brain is going off. And what I want to offer to you is to share that message with people that you're following. Because when you can be that vulnerable and authentic and say like, this is real for me, but I'm doing this business anyway. This is real for me, but I'm showing up every day and I'm working out and I'm taking these things, like really just using all of that vulnerability as your power to inspire people. Because it's not about the products. It's not about, yes, it's about your physical transformation too, but honestly, it's about who you're being. It's about who you're being. Like the products speak for themselves. The products are obviously amazing. They obviously work. How many transformation pictures can people actually see? Like they work. It's about you. Yeah, I honor you too for continuing to show up. It's awesome.
That's exactly what I actually did. Is I wrote all my big goals out from small to big, journaled, and then literally hopped on Instagram and shared everything that I had just done and verbally put it out there, not just pen to paper, because that is also something I've never done. I've never shared my story in a verbal aspect or my true deep fears of limiting beliefs. And I've done that twice now this weekend, which is huge, terrifying, but huge.
And how was your engagement on that?
I haven't gotten comments or anything like that, but I've gotten more views on it, and
People are watching that, believe me.
Looking at it.
People are seeing that.
Yeah.
Trust that. I want to give you a virtual high five. Boom. Seriously, so inspiring. Thank you for sharing that. That's it. That is it. Amazing work. So good.
And like I said, and Justine, like I said, just honoring you for continuing to show up in the container of your team and in the resources. And like Ashley was saying, just in embodying, who this next level version of you is. Because what ends up happening for a lot of people is they come out of the container. And what I mean by container, I mean they step away from the team, they step away from the warm, cozy fire of being around other people that are having success. And the reason, one of the reasons probably, why you are where you are is because you have been showing up and you have, you're seeing other people around you who are doing and succeeding. And you're just like, why not me? Why not, as you're embodying and taking on the personal development and you're showing up and you're being a part of these team calls and you're connecting with your mentors and your pods, all of that is purposeful. Everyone's journey is their own and it takes time. Everyone's timeline is different. But I'm really proud of you for just continuing to show up and never just kind of fully stepping away, because a lot of people will do that and then they end up staying the same.
And I do also have to say that a big part of that is to getting to the point where I'm tired of looking at other people succeed, but realizing that I need to put forth the effort, and seeing the upline for me has been huge. So you, Chelsea, Ariel, Carla, all these people that are really putting forth all that vulnerability for me has really put me in a mindset where this is something I can do, and I just need to let go of that fear and utilize it to push me forward.
So powerful.
Yeah,
So powerful.
I think that's the power of community, right? I think, you know, that's what Ashley and that group that I have with her does for me. And like even for me, I would just share, I needed to get to that point, Justine, which is like, I was just tired of my limiting beliefs and how much, like I had a key point. It was at a Date with Destiny with Tony Robbins where I was like, what the F? Like it literally is me. It's me, and what in the world do I have to lose? And it was in that moment of just being tired of my own shit up here that everything started shifting for me. And it's because I've always stayed, this is the power of community, the power of being around empowered, successful women that are driven and doing things, because I was staying in that circle and feeling the like pull and being like, what the hell? Like what, it's me. It's like, so yeah. So anyway, just adding that.
Love it.
What else?
Any other questions about coaching or the training or anything that I shared? Thoughts, break takeaways?
Ashley, I have a question for you for the girls, but just in general, or for the team, because we have guys too. But, you know, what do you know, obviously, as you said, the bullseye is energy, right? And it's maintaining your energy.
Mm-hmm.
What advice can you give from your own experience as a coach's coach, you know, and just someone who's an entrepreneur showing up on social media? What is it that you're doing, you know, on those days, which I know you have, where you don't feel like showing up? And you know, when you have shit going on in your life, and or you have an obstacle, or you have bad news that you just weren't expecting, you know, that hits your life from something else in your life, and it's like, what advice do you give for, you know, to other women and individuals in general, you know, men and women, in terms of showing up, and yeah, how can you speak to that?
Love that. So it's funny because I'm like coming off of an extreme burnout phase for me. Like I've been pretty burnt out. I feel better today because I took care of myself yesterday and I've been meditating. And I think for me, it's really about, number one, protecting my energy every day. So every single day when you wake up, clearing out old energy, having some sort of ritual for yourself. I pray to Archangel Michael, all of my angels, to just clear my energy and protect my energy every single day. And when I don't do that every single day, then I feel it. Like I feel the drain start to come in, because if you're showing up on social media, you're showing up for multiple people, whether you know it or not. There's people that are watching your stuff, and that pulls on your energy. So protecting your energy is so key. And if something happens, or I can't show up, or I don't want to show up, or I don't feel called to show up, I honor that. And I don't have to show up in every moment. But here's the thing. I run a business, and social media is part of my business. So for me, I can't just show up when I feel inspired, right? I have to show up consistently. But if there's days where I don't show up, I make sure that I have something either planned, or I ask someone to post something for me on my team. But if that's not you, and you don't have a team who can post for you, I would say have maybe like 5 things in your like back pocket that you can post for the day or post for the week if you don't feel like showing up. Like when I have my period, I don't feel like showing up. I feel like laying in bed and not showing my face. So I will have things in the back end to make sure that I'm still staying consistent on the front end. Because it's a business. This isn't a hobby. This is a business, right? And maybe for some of you, it might be a hobby, but I would say for most of you, it's probably your full-time or wanting it to be your full-time thing. Am I rambling, Steph? I don't know what I'm saying now. What else did you
Well,
ask?
no, I think that's good. Just in terms of
Yeah.
maintaining your energy, just
Maintaining your energy, right? Okay. And then just daily ritual. Like for me, I have to work out. I have to move my body. If I don't consistently move my body, I am not feeling optimal. If I'm not consistently meditating, I'm not feeling optimal. So you have to find out for you what makes you feel like the best version of yourself. And if you're not consistent with it, what's getting in the way, right? Like figuring that out for yourself so you can be consistent with your self-care. I'm sure you've heard that over and over and over again, but it is true. It is true. Like you have to take care of yourself and embody and practice what you preach, right? Yeah.
Can I just add to that real quick? Do you guys mind?
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, like, that's another. I mean, Stephanie knows too. Like the past 2 days, like I haven't been feeling that great, so I had to take a break from social media. But that's because it is, like you said, it is so draining and it takes so much. Like when you're really putting your all into it, you can feel it.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, if you're not taking that time for yourself, if you're not, like for me, like I like to get massages and yoga and things like that. And if I don't do those and I'm like hitting it hard 7 days straight or something, trust me, by that 8th or 9th day, I'm just like, and I'm done. And that's it. So that's, I mean, I completely agree with everything that you're saying on that honoring the energy part and now having stuff, like you said, having stuff planned on the back end, that's where I didn't have that. So if I'm not able to show up because I need to protect myself that day, I'm going to honor that. But that's normally where I'm fortunate enough to at least have Robbie. So I can turn to him and be like, you have to post something. Anything you want, but I'm out.
Totally. Yes. And I think as you start to develop, as you get moving and grooving in your biz, like you want to start to plan out your content, right? And if you have a content plan, it's a totally different conversation, but it does reserve your energy because you're not last minute posting. You're not last minute. What do I do? What do I say? It's more strategic and you have a plan in place. So if you don't want to show up for a few days, all good. You can schedule it, Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
I think Justine says, what are some examples or ideas to protect your energy?
Okay, cool. Want to do it right now? Should we do a little energy meditation protection? Be quick.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So if you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes. I'm going to close mine. And it's a couple step process. So let's just take a deep breath in together. Take a deep breath in. Clear it out. Do that again. Breathe in. Hold it. Let it go. All the way out. And then do one more really, really deep breath in all the way to the pit of your belly. Clear it out. And just come into stillness. Allow your mind to relax. Scan your body for any tension that you might feel and just allow yourself to completely relax right now in this safe space. Let go of all of your thoughts. And it's in this space that you don't need to try and make anything happen or wonder if you're doing this properly. You're literally just being present. And so it's in this space that I want you to call in your guides. So whether you call angels or just source or universe or God, whatever you want to refer to, you can just call that in with yourself right now. So I'll just call in Archangel Michael. Thank you for coming in. You can repeat after me. Thank you for coming in and clearing my energy field. Thank you for helping me release any stuck energy, any energy that has latched on to my energy field I release that now. And I transmute it into the light. That's one. You want to clear it all out first. And then once it's cleared out, you want to call in what you want to fill yourself up with. So Archangel Michael, thank you for filling me up with abundance, power, and love. And you can decide whatever you want to be filled up with. And then just breathe that in for a moment. Take a moment with that. Fill it up. And I want you to imagine now a bubble of gold light surrounding you. So I always say, thank you for guiding me, providing me, protecting me, and directing me to do my work in a way that is for the highest good of the planet and everyone that I come in contact with. And then imagine this big bubble of light around you as your shield of protection, expanding that field. And this shield can protect you from everything, energy, germs, all the things. This bubble. And just see yourself inside the bubble. And then just say thank you to your angels, your guides, whoever you called in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And take a deep breath in. Clear it out. And then you can open up your eyes. And so what I'll do is I can send Steph a little prayer for you guys for your daily protection, if you want to do that. It really does work. I'll say that. It really, really, really does. And the easiest thing to do is, you want to remember to clear yourself. So in the morning, if you shower, in the evening, if you shower, you can use that as your clearing, like a physical clearing. Sometimes I pretend like I have a cloak and I just like take the cloak off, or in between clients, I'll like shake myself out, play a song, dance around, anything to clear energy. And then even without the prayer, the intention is there. If you just imagine the bubble, the shield around you, and you can bubble up anytime you want. Like if you go into crowded places, you can bubble up, protect your energy. When you're going on your phone, bubble up, protect your energy. It works. What do you guys think? Cool.
Yeah, that was just awesome.
Awesome. Bubble up.
Well, thank you, Ashley. This was amazing. I want to honor your time. But I think this is something that I think a lot of people will come back and listen to. This was really awesome, guys. Like for someone, this was great training, very fundamental training when it comes to coaching. And even just learning, like I love the part about just listening, learning how to be an active listener, and learning to listen objectively. That is a skill set that will serve you in every area of your life. And I think it's a great exercise to practice with, because, just being that active listener I remember a training I did for my breathwork certification, and literally that's what we had to do. We had to sit across from someone and just listen and not show any facial expression, like not even like nudge them on. Yeah, you had to it was like 5 minutes of them talking, and they had to share like their deepest, darkest secret, or like something they were ashamed of. That was really shocking, and you just had to sit there. And it was great though. It's great training, because I think we all need to continue to work on listening more, listening better, and just really holding that space and learning how to ask great questions. So this was amazing.
That's such a good exercise.
Yeah. Yeah. You should do that if you're ever with your people. Just have them sit across from each other for your next mastermind, and just have them, literally you put a 5-minute timer and they just talk, and you can't give any smile, no nudging, no nothing. Like you just have to stand there, sit there with a straight face and just listen. And then reiterate what you heard back to them, to also be incorporating the engaged listening as well. Because it's a skill. It's a skill,
really is.
that you need to practice.
Yeah.
So
So cool. So cool.
awesome. Well, thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to drop my Instagram. So if you want to come say hi on IG, I'm at Manifest with Ash. I would love to connect with you guys further. And yeah,
Thank you so much for that. It was great.
you're welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
All right, guys, take care.
Bye.
Bye.